Captain Alex Kane stood at the edge of the landing platform, his boots echoing softly on the polished metal floor. Beyond the platform, the city of Viralia stretched out like a jewel under two suns. Crystal towers sparkled and energy streams glowed like ribbons of light running through the city. The humans had never seen a place like this before. Alex had traveled across galaxies, but Viralia was something special. He adjusted the strap of his combat harness, feeling the familiar weight of his weapons. Humans were a small presence here, part of a delegation sent to assist the alien empire in maintaining peace. Most of the humans were diplomats or scientists, but Alex had a different role. He was trained to protect, and if danger appeared, he would face it without hesitation. The alien queen Thalira awaited him at the royal palace. She was tall, graceful, and her skin shimmered faintly like polished crystal. Her eyes glowed softly, showing wisdom and authority. She ruled Viralia with care, loved by her people. But today her youngest daughter, Princess Leora, would also be part of the festivities in the palace courtyard. The little girl was full of energy, running and laughing as she chased floating orbs of light with her tiny hands. Alex kept a watchful eye on her, not because he was assigned to guard her, but because instinct told him something might happen. Humans had learned long ago that danger could appear anywhere. The city was alive with excitement. Citizens gathered for the Festival of Light, a celebration marking the planet's twin suns reaching their highest point in the sky. The festival was beautiful. Glowing lanterns floated in the air. Music played on strange alien instruments, and the streets were filled with people of every shape and color. Leora laughed as she darted through the crowd. She paused to look at Alex, her large violet eyes curious. "Are humans brave?" she asked. Her voice was soft, but there was determination in it. Alex smiled gently. "Some are," he said. "But bravery is not about being strong. It is about protecting others even when it is hard." The princess nodded seriously as if she understood more than her years should allow. Suddenly, a shadow fell over the crowd. The celebration did not stop, but a wave of tension rippled through the air. Alex's instincts went on high alert. He noticed figures moving quickly along the rooftops, shapes that did not belong. They were armed and they moved with purpose. Alex's hand went to his weapon, his senses sharpening. These were not festival guards. These were attackers. The attackers were fast, moving silently but with deadly precision. "Your Highness," Alex said quietly, stepping closer to the princess. "Stay close to me." Leora's small hand slipped into his. She looked up at him, a mixture of fear and trust in her eyes. Alex had never met her before, but he knew she would survive if she stayed with him. The attackers struck suddenly, descending into the courtyard. Panic erupted. Citizens screamed and scattered, but Alex moved like a shadow. He pushed Leora behind a low wall and raised his weapon. His human reflexes were fast, precise. He fired, aiming to disable without causing fatal harm. The attackers faltered, surprised by his skill. Leora crouched behind him, her small body trembling, but she did not scream. Alex noticed her bravery. Even a child could sense danger, and yet she trusted him completely. One attacker lunged toward them. Alex spun, using his momentum to push the figure away. He grabbed Leora's hand and pulled her toward a side passage. The attackers were fast, but Alex knew the city. He could lead them through paths the enemies could not predict. The passage led to the underground tunnels beneath the city. Glowing plants lit the walls with a soft blue light, and strange creatures scuttled along the edges. Alex kept moving, always shielding the princess with his body. Leora looked around in awe, forgetting for a moment that they were being chased. "These tunnels are older than the city above," Alex explained quietly. "They were made for emergencies like hiding from danger." Leora nodded, her curiosity returning. "Do humans have tunnels like this?" she asked. Alex shook his head. "Not like this, but we find ways to survive no matter where we are." They moved deeper into the tunnels. The attackers were relentless, following closely. Alex could hear their footsteps echoing. He knew they could not fight them all at once. He needed a plan. "Can you run fast?" he asked Leora, looking at her small legs. "I can try," she said, determination lighting her face. "Good," Alex said. "Sometimes speed is better than strength." He guided her through narrow passages, over small bridges, and around obstacles. Every turn brought new dangers, but also small victories. Leora began to smile again, encouraged by Alex's calmness and skill. Finally, they reached a chamber with a secure door. Alex pushed a few buttons and the door slid open to reveal a small, safe room. He ushered Leora inside. "Stay here," he said. "I'll see if we can find a way out." Leora shook her head. "No, I want to help." Alex looked at her. She was small but brave. "All right," he said. "Stay close to me and do exactly as I say." They stepped out together. Alex noticed the attackers hesitating. He had seen enough of their movements to know they were being careful. He smiled grimly. Humans could read danger quickly, and he would use that to their advantage. As they moved, Leora asked, "Will my mother be okay?" "She will be," Alex promised. "I will make sure of it." Her small hand tightened around his. She trusted him completely. That trust gave Alex strength. He was no longer just protecting a child. He was carrying the hope of a queen and her people. The tunnels led them to an open space under the city. Alex stopped and looked around. There in the center of the chamber was a hollow communicator glowing softly. He activated it. The queen's face appeared, radiant even in fear. "Alex Kane," she said, her voice calm but urgent. "You have my daughter?" "Yes, Your Highness," Alex said. "She is safe with me. We are finding a way out." "Good," she said. "Be careful. The attackers are not ordinary thieves. They want her as leverage. You must not let them take her." Alex nodded. "Understood. We will not fail." The queen's image faded. Leora looked up at Alex, her violet eyes wide. "They want me. Why?" "Because you are important," Alex said simply. "Important enough that others will try to use you to get power." The little girl seemed to understand. "Then we must be clever," she said. "We must not let them win." Alex smiled, impressed. She was clever, and that might just save them both. As they prepared to move again, Alex looked at the glowing tunnels ahead. Danger waited around every corner. But he was ready. He had faced impossible odds before, and he had never failed to protect those who depended on him. Together, human and alien child, they stepped forward into the unknown. The city above was in chaos, but below the ground a new journey had begun. A journey of courage, trust, and the unbreakable bond between a soldier and the child he vowed to protect. And somewhere in the shadows, the attackers watched, unaware that they had already underestimated the human standing beside the little princess. Alex took a deep breath. This was only the beginning. The tunnels stretched before them like a glowing maze. Light from the bioluminescent plants painted the walls in soft blues and purples. Strange creatures scuttled along the edges. But Alex had learned not to fear the small wildlife. They were more curious than dangerous. His focus was entirely on keeping Princess Leora safe. "Do we have to go this way?" Leora asked, her small hand still holding his. Her voice was calm, but he could hear the faint tremor of fear beneath it. "Yes," Alex said. "These tunnels will help us stay hidden. The attackers above won't know where we are, but we have to move carefully." Leora nodded, her wide eyes darting around. She pointed to a glowing fungus on the wall. "That one looks like it's smiling," she said, a small smile forming on her face. For a moment, she was just a curious child exploring a strange place, not a target in a deadly game. Alex allowed himself a small smile. "It does," he said. "But don't touch it. We don't know what it might do." The princess giggled softly and fell into step beside him. Alex noticed that she was surprisingly observant. She watched the tunnels closely, noticing small details he might have missed. When he spotted a loose stone in the floor, she pointed it out before he stepped on it. "You have sharp eyes," Alex said. "You might help me more than you know." Leora's eyes sparkled. "I want to help. I want to protect my mother, too." Alex felt a surge of admiration. She was young but brave. He squeezed her hand gently. "We'll do it together," he said. As they moved deeper into the tunnels, the sound of pursuit echoed behind them. Alex paused, listening carefully. The attackers were close. Their footsteps were soft but deliberate. Alex had to keep moving. The tunnels offered no real place to fight. He had to rely on strategy. He led them to a narrow passage barely wide enough for a human and a small child. He crouched, urging Leora to do the same. The attackers approached, unaware of the hidden corner. "Wait," Alex whispered. He had an idea. Using a small device, he triggered a faint burst of light in a side chamber. The attackers paused, distracted. Alex used that moment to slip past them with Leora following closely. "Good thinking," Leora whispered, impressed. Alex smiled. "Humans have a few tricks. You'll see more soon." The tunnels opened into a larger chamber. In the center, a small underground stream glowed softly, flowing over smooth stones. The sound of water was calming. a strange contrast to the chaos above. Leora knelt and dipped her hands into the water, giggling. "It's warm," she said. "Is it magic?" Alex crouched beside her. "No magic," he said. "Just nature, different from your city. But it's useful. We can use it to drink and rest for a moment." Leora looked at him seriously. "Do humans always stay calm in danger?" Alex shook his head. "No, but staying calm helps you think. Fear can make you make mistakes. And mistakes can be dangerous." The little girl nodded, absorbing every word. Her trust in him was growing, and Alex knew that trust was as important as any weapon he carried. After a short break, Alex examined the tunnels ahead. He saw several paths, each twisting and turning into darkness. He chose one that led upward, toward the surface, but not directly into the city. The attackers could not anticipate this path. As they moved, Alex explained quietly, "Sometimes, to protect someone, you have to think like the enemy. You move where they do not expect. You use what others ignore." Leora listened carefully. "I can do that too," she said. "I will watch and tell you if I see anything strange." Alex's respect for her grew. "Good, stay alert and don't panic. We are almost through the first part." They climbed a small incline, emerging into a chamber filled with strange glowing crystals. Light refracted in every direction, making the walls shimmer like stars. Leora gasped in wonder. "It's beautiful," she said softly. "It feels like the sky is under the ground." Alex looked at her, amazed at how she could find wonder even in danger. "Yes," he said. "And beauty can give hope even when things are scary." Suddenly, a sound echoed through the chamber, a faint clicking like claws on stone. The attackers were still following, closing in. Alex grabbed Leora's hand, moving quickly. "Stay close," he whispered. "We have to be faster now." They ran through twisting paths, Alex leading the way. He spotted a side tunnel with a low ceiling and motioned them in. The attackers followed but slowed down, not expecting the sudden turn. Alex used the narrow space to his advantage. He pressed a hidden panel on the wall, releasing a cloud of mist that confused the attackers. Leora laughed quietly. "We tricked them." Alex smiled. "Yes, but stay focused. This is not over yet." They emerged into a larger cavern where underground rivers flowed and glowing fish swam in the water. Alex realized this was a natural labyrinth, a place few knew existed. He decided to rest briefly, letting the princess drink from the river and regain her strength. While she drank, Alex scanned the area with a small device. He detected traces of energy from the attackers' weapons. They were close but not right behind them. There was a small chance to reach a safe exit. "Are you ready?" Alex asked. Leora nodded, gripping his hand tightly. "Yes, let's go." As they moved forward, the tunnels became narrower, forcing them to move single file. Alex stayed alert, listening to every sound. He could hear the distant hum of the city above, but it felt far away, like another world. Suddenly, Leora froze. "What is that?" she whispered. Alex crouched beside her, scanning the shadows. A pair of glowing eyes reflected the light. A creature, large and serpentine, slithered toward them. Its movements were silent but threatening. "Stay calm," Alex whispered. He slowly reached for a stun device, careful not to startle it. The creature hissed but did not attack immediately. Alex remembered the tunnel's structure. "We can use the water," he said. He led the creature toward a shallow stream. The creature hesitated, then stepped into the water. Alex triggered the device, creating a strong pulse that startled it and caused it to retreat. Leora's eyes were wide. "You saved us again." Alex smiled. "I told you courage is not just about fighting. It's about thinking and staying calm." They continued through the tunnels, reaching a chamber with a secure door. Alex pressed a few buttons and the door slid open to a hidden transport chamber. This device could take them closer to the surface without being seen. Leora's eyes sparkled with excitement. "We're going to fly underground?" Alex laughed softly. "Sort of. This will get us out safely, but we still have to be careful." He activated the chamber. A soft hum filled the air and the floor began to rise. The walls glowed brighter as the device powered up. Leora held his hand tightly, her trust in him absolute. The device completed its cycle and the floor lowered them gently into a hidden area on the edge of the city. The sunlight from the twin suns poured in, warming their faces. Alex looked around. They had made it this far without being caught. "Good job," he said to Leora. "You were brave and clever. You helped me more than you know," she smiled shyly. "I learned from you. You're very brave, Alex chuckled. We learned from each other. That is how we survive. From the distance, he could see guards approaching. The Queen's forces had likely begun searching for her daughter. Alex knew it was only a matter of time before they were reunited. But for now, the bond between human and princess had grown stronger. Together they had survived the underground chase, relying on courage, intelligence, and trust. Alex looked at the horizon. The city was still in chaos, but a new hope had begun. They had escaped the first danger, but the journey was far from over. And somewhere in the shadows, the attackers were regrouping, unaware that their target had already been guided to safety by a human soldier, whose courage was beyond their imagination. Alex took a deep breath, holding Leora's small hand in his. Come on, he said. The next step will be even more dangerous, but I promise I will keep you safe. Leora nodded, her violet eyes shining with determination. I trust you, Alex Kane. Let's go. And with that, the human soldier and the alien princess continued their escape, ready to face whatever dangers awaited them, side by side. Alex Kane and Princess Leora stepped cautiously into the next chamber of the underground labyrinth. The air was cool, tinged with an unusual metallic scent. Strange symbols glowed faintly on the walls, pulsing in rhythm with the faint hum of energy that seemed to come from the center of the room. In the middle of the chamber stood a mysterious portal, a swirling vortex of light that shimmered like liquid starlight. Leora's eyes widened in awe. What is that? She whispered. Alex studied the portal carefully. He had seen many strange technologies in his travels, but this one was different. It radiated a powerful energy that made the hairs on the back of his neck stand on end. It's some kind of transport device, he said cautiously. It could take us to safety, or it could send us somewhere we don't want to go. Leora stepped closer, curiosity shining on her face. Can it fly us to my mother? Alex hesitated. Possibly, but I don't know exactly where it leads. Using it is risky. One mistake and we could end up far from the city, or worse. The princess frowned, her small brow furrowing. I don't like danger, Alex, but I trust you. If you say it will help, I will go. Alex felt a surge of responsibility. This little girl's trust was not something he could take lightly. All right, he said firmly. We'll do this together. Stay close and do exactly as I say. They approached the portal. The hum of energy grew louder, and Alex noticed faint currents of light spiraling around it. He took out a portable scanner from his pack, analyzing the energy patterns. It requires precise activation, he muttered. Even a small error could cause serious problems. But I think I can make it work. Leora peeked at the controls, her eyes wide. It looks complicated, Alex chuckled softly. It is. But humans are good at solving problems under pressure. I've done this before in different ways. Stay calm, and we'll get through it. As Alex worked on the device, he could hear faint noises echoing through the tunnels. The attackers were close. They had not given up, and Alex knew they would not. He moved quickly, adjusting the settings, calculating the energy flow, and checking the stability of the portal. Leora watched intently, fascinated by the precision and focus in his every movement. You're amazing, she whispered. How do you stay so calm? Alex smiled, though his focus never wavered. Calmness helps you think. Panic only makes mistakes worse. We need to stay sharp or the portal could malfunction. Finally, Alex activated the portal. A soft hum filled the chamber, and the vortex of light expanded slightly. The energy created a gentle wind that brushed against their faces. Leora clutched Alex's hand tightly, her small fingers entwined with his. Ready? Alex asked, his voice steady. Leora nodded, her eyes shining with trust. Ready. They stepped forward together. The light enveloped them, and for a moment everything blurred. The walls, the glowing symbols, and even their own hands seemed to stretch and twist around them. Alex held Leora close, making sure she was safe as the portal carried them through unknown space. When the light faded, they found themselves on a remote, mysterious planet. The sky glowed with colors they had never seen before, shades of purple, orange, and green blending together. Floating islands hovered above the ground, connected by streams of shimmering energy. The landscape was breathtaking and alien. Leora gasped in wonder. It's beautiful, she said. Where are we? Alex looked around, assessing the area. I don't know, but it's safe, at least for now. We need to find shelter and make sure we are not being followed. They moved cautiously, stepping onto one of the floating islands. The ground beneath their feet felt solid but slightly elastic, as if it had a natural energy supporting it. Strange, glowing plants grew around the edges and small harmless creatures darted in and out of the foliage. "Is this planet alive?" Leora asked, her voice full of awe. Alex smiled. "It feels like it. We have to respect it. Sometimes nature itself can help us if we pay attention." As they explored, Alex set up a temporary camp, using his survival skills to create a small barrier and a safe place for Leora to rest. He also scanned the area for any signs of danger. The readings showed no immediate threats, but Alex knew that peace was never guaranteed. Leora sat beside him, her eyes bright with curiosity. "Alex, do humans always protect others like you do?" Alex thought for a moment. "Some do. Humans have a strong instinct to protect. It comes from caring for each other and sometimes from understanding what's right. I protect you because it's the right thing to do. Not because I have to, but because I want to." The little girl smiled softly. "I'm glad you're here." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. Protecting her was more than a duty. It was becoming personal. Her safety was now intertwined with his own sense of purpose. As night fell on the alien planet, the sky glowed even brighter with floating lights like stars hovering close. Alex stayed alert, keeping watch while Leora rested. He thought about the queen above, wondering how worried she must be. He also considered the attackers. They were still out there, likely planning their next move. Morning came with a soft, glowing light. The floating islands reflected the sun in a dazzling display. Alex knew they could not stay here forever. They needed a plan to return to the city safely, or at least get closer to allies who could help. "Alex?" Leora called, pointing to a distant island. "Look, the crystals there are glowing." Alex examined the islands. The glow seemed to pulse in a pattern, almost like a signal. "Good eye," he said. "That could be a path we can take. It might lead us to a safer place or even a way back to the city." They prepared to move using natural energy bridges that connected the floating islands. Leora held Alex's hand tightly, her small body trusting him completely. Step by step they crossed, careful not to slip or disturb the fragile paths. Suddenly, a rumble echoed through the air. Alex's instincts went on high alert. A large shadow moved across one of the distant islands. He scanned quickly with his portable device. A group of creatures, large, predatory, and unfamiliar, was approaching. They were not the same as the attackers from the city, but they posed a serious threat. "Stay close," Alex whispered. "We need to move faster." Leora nodded, her small body pressing against his side. "I trust you, Alex." Using his human training, Alex led them across a series of smaller islands using speed, timing, and observation to avoid the predators. He taught Leora how to duck behind obstacles, move quietly, and watch the environment carefully. She learned quickly, her sharp mind absorbing every detail. Finally, they reached a larger island, a plateau with a clear view of the horizon. From here, Alex could see a faint structure in the distance, tall, metallic, and resembling a watchtower. "That's our next goal," he said. "It might give us shelter and a chance to contact the Queen's forces." Leora smiled. "We're going to make it, aren't we?" Alex nodded firmly. "Yes, we're going to make it." As they approached the tower, Alex felt a sense of pride. The little princess was learning courage and resourcefulness from him, and she was teaching him patience and hope. Together, they were more than just a soldier and a child, they were a team. From the shadows of a nearby island, Alex sensed movement. The attackers from the city had not given up. They had somehow tracked the portal's energy signature to this alien planet. Alex knew that sooner or later, they would have to face them again. But for now, he had achieved the impossible. He had guided the princess through dangerous tunnels, across a strange alien world, and kept her safe at every turn. Alex glanced at Leora, her eyes reflecting the glowing sky. "Rest now," he said softly. "We have a long journey ahead and we'll need our strength. But remember this, we can face anything as long as we trust each other." Leora leaned against him, her small body tired but unafraid. "I trust you, Alex Kane," she whispered. Alex smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility and pride at the same time. The portal had brought them to a new world, full of danger and wonder, but it had also strengthened their bond. No matter what came next, he would protect her. That was his promise, and he would keep it no matter the cost. The human soldier and the alien princess looked at the glowing horizon together, ready to face the challenges ahead, side by side. The floating islands glowed softly under the alien sky, but the calm beauty was only temporary. Captain Alex Kane and Princess Leora had made it to a plateau near a tall metallic tower. a structure that promised shelter and a chance to contact Queen Thalira's forces. But danger was not far behind. Alex crouched behind a crystalline outcrop scanning the horizon. "We have company," he whispered. Leora pressed herself against his side, her small hand gripping his tightly. From the shadows of another island, figures appeared. Alex could recognize them instantly, the attackers from the city. They had somehow tracked the portal energy and followed them to this remote planet. But Alex had a plan. "Listen to me carefully," he said. "We cannot face them all head-on. We need to use the terrain. Watch the floating islands, they are fragile in places. I'll create traps and you stay close." Leora nodded, her violet eyes wide but determined. "I can help," she said softly. Alex smiled. "Good. Stay alert and do exactly as I say." He moved quickly, scanning the islands for weak spots. He identified a narrow bridge of natural energy connecting two islands. A misstep there could send anyone tumbling into the glowing abyss below. Alex set a small device that would destabilize the bridge slightly when pressure was applied. It was a simple trap, but effective. The attackers advanced cautiously, unaware of the trap. Alex's heart beat steadily. He knew timing was everything. "Wait for it," he whispered. As the first enemy stepped onto the bridge, the device triggered. The energy beneath them wobbled dangerously. The attacker froze, trying to maintain balance, then stumbled and fell into the glowing depths below. The others hesitated, startled. "Move!" Alex shouted. He grabbed Leora's hand, pulling her toward the safety of the tower. The attackers recovered quickly, firing energy weapons across the distance. Alex used the crystal formations as cover, returning fire when necessary but focusing on speed and strategy, rather than confrontation. Leora ducked instinctively, following his every move. "Alex, what about my mother?" she asked, her voice tight with worry. "She's sending reinforcements," Alex said. "The Queen's forces will arrive soon. We just need to hold on a little longer." They reached the base of the metallic tower. Alex examined the entrance. It was locked, but he found a panel that allowed access through a security code. Using a device he had carried from the tunnels, he bypassed the lock. The door slid open with a quiet hum. Inside, the tower was spacious and filled with alien technology. Screens glowed with maps and signals, showing the surrounding islands. Alex quickly scanned the area. The attackers had regrouped and were circling, but there was a momentary advantage. "They're surrounding us," Alex said, "but that can work in our favor. We have the high ground and cover inside." Leora's eyes sparkled with understanding. "We can fight smart," she said. "Not just with weapons, but with our brains." Alex nodded. She was learning quickly. "Exactly. Stay close to me and follow my lead." As the attackers closed in, a bright light appeared above the plateau. Queen Thalira's elite guards had arrived, descending from specially designed ships that hovered with quiet precision. The attackers' attention split and the advantage shifted. Alex seized the moment. Using the narrow pathways between the islands, he led Leora to a position where they could defend the entrance while allowing the Queen's forces to surround the attackers. He coordinated with the alien soldiers, signaling positions and pointing out traps he had set. The battle began in earnest. Energy weapons flashed, and the glowing islands reflected the light in dazzling patterns. Alex moved with precision, covering Leora and striking where necessary. Leora stayed close, alert and brave, helping by pointing out enemy movements. She even pressed small buttons on Alex's portable devices to trigger additional minor traps, showing ingenuity beyond her years. The attackers, realizing they were being outmaneuvered, tried to retreat, but Alex anticipated their movements. He blocked paths and directed the Queen's soldiers to intercept. One by one, the attackers were neutralized, either captured or forced to retreat into the glowing chasms below. Throughout the battle, Alex never let go of Leora's hand. He guided her, protected her, and encouraged her to stay brave. Leora, in turn, showed remarkable courage. When one attacker nearly slipped past their defenses, she shouted a warning, giving Alex the crucial second to stop him. Finally, the battle ended. The attackers were defeated or captured. The plateau was quiet once more, except for the soft hum of the alien technology and the gentle glow of the islands. Alex lowered his weapon, breathing deeply. Leora hugged him tightly, her small arms wrapped around his waist. "You did it, Alex," she said, her voice filled with relief and joy. Alex smiled, feeling a rare moment of pride and calm. "We did it," he corrected gently. "Together. You were brave, Leora. You helped more than you realize." The queen arrived shortly after, her majestic presence radiating authority. She surveyed the scene, her gaze landing on Alex and her daughter. Her violet eyes shone with gratitude and admiration. "Captain Alex Kane," she said, her voice firm but warm. "You have done more than protect my daughter. You have demonstrated courage, wisdom, and loyalty beyond any expectation. My people and I owe you a debt that cannot be measured in words." Alex bowed slightly, feeling both pride and humility. "I only did what any protector should do, Your Highness. I could not let her be harmed." The queen approached Leora, lifting her into her arms. The little princess smiled at Alex, then turned her head toward her mother. "Mother, Alex kept me safe. He was brave and clever." Thalira looked at Alex with a mix of admiration and respect. "Indeed," she said, "and for this he will not go unrewarded." Alex's eyes widened slightly. He had faced many dangers and earned respect in countless ways, but something in the queen's tone suggested that the reward would be unlike anything he had imagined. The queen turned to her elite guards. "Escort Captain Kane to the council chamber. There I will present him with a reward worthy of his deeds." Leora's small hand squeezed Alex's. "Thank you," she whispered. "For everything." Alex smiled softly. "You don't need to thank me," he said. "Protecting you was the right thing to do, but your thanks mean a lot." The queen's forces moved efficiently, guiding Alex and Leora toward the chamber. The floating islands glowed beneath them, and Alex took one last glance at the battlefield. The attackers had been defeated, but the bond formed through this trial was far more significant. Inside the council chamber, the queen's advisors and citizens awaited. Their eyes followed Alex with awe and respect. He had become a hero not just to the queen's daughter, but to an entire alien civilization. Thalira stepped forward, holding a small, glowing crystal in her hands. "This is for you, Captain Alex Kane," she said. "It symbolizes courage, loyalty, and wisdom. But more than that, it is a token of trust and friendship between our worlds." Alex accepted the crystal, feeling its warmth and energy pulse through his hands. He looked at Leora, who beamed up at him with pride. "You've earned more than this," the queen continued. "You have earned the friendship and gratitude of the Virelian people. Your actions will be remembered for generations." Alex bowed once more. "Thank you, Your Highness. I only hope to continue serving in any way I can." Leora hugged him again, and Alex realized that the greatest reward was not the crystal or the recognition. It was the bond of trust and respect he had built with the little princess and the alien civilization. He had faced impossible odds, and together they had prevailed. Outside, the sun shone brightly over the floating islands. Alex looked at the horizon, thinking of the journey ahead. Danger was never far away, but with courage, intelligence, and trust, he knew they could face anything. And for the first time, he allowed himself to feel a quiet sense of accomplishment. Not just as a soldier, but as someone who had made a real difference in the life of a child, a queen, and a civilization. The battle was won. The princess was safe, and the human soldier had earned a reward more magnificent than he could have imagined. The council chamber of Queen Thalira's palace was grander than Alex Kane had imagined. Tall pillars of crystal reflected the soft light from floating lanterns, and delicate patterns of energy danced across the polished floor. Citizens and advisors lined the walls, their faces filled with respect and anticipation. In the center, Queen Thalira stood with her daughter, Princess Leora, holding the small, glowing crystal that Alex had already seen. Alex stepped forward, his human form small compared to the elegant alien beings around him, but he carried himself with quiet confidence. He had faced impossible dangers and survived, protecting the princess through the tunnels across alien landscapes and in battle. Now all that remained was the reward, a reward far greater than he could have imagined. The queen's voice rang out, calm and commanding. "Captain Alex Kane, you have proven yourself beyond measure. You have protected my daughter, shown courage under fire, and used your intelligence and skill to overcome dangers no one else could face. For this, the Virelian people honor you." Alex bowed respectfully. "Your Highness, I only did my duty. Princess Leora's safety was my responsibility, and I would do it again without hesitation." Thalira smiled, her violet eyes warm. "Duty alone does not explain your deeds. Courage, loyalty, and wisdom are rarer than duty, and these qualities deserve recognition. But more than recognition, You deserve a bond with our people that cannot be broken." From behind the queen, a glowing pedestal rose, holding an ornate device unlike any Alex had seen. It pulsed with energy, radiating warmth and light. The queen gestured toward it. "This is the emblem of Viralia," she said. "It is given only to those who have earned our highest respect. It carries not only the honor of our people, but also a bond with the royal family. With it, you are recognized as a protector of Viralia, a friend of our empire, and a guardian of my daughter." Alex stepped forward cautiously, feeling the energy hum beneath his fingers as he took the emblem. It was warm, almost alive, and he felt a connection to the queen, the princess, and the people of this world. It was more than a reward. It was a responsibility, and he accepted it willingly. Princess Leora ran forward and hugged him tightly. "You saved me, Alex." "You were amazing." Alex crouched to her level, holding her close. "No, Leora, we saved each other. You were brave too. Your trust helped me protect you." The queen watched the exchange, her eyes shining. "Captain Kane, there is more," she said. "This emblem grants you access to our resources, our knowledge, and our protection. You are now part of our world in a way few outsiders ever are. Your actions have built a bridge between our civilizations." Alex felt a mixture of pride and humility. He had faced countless dangers, but nothing compared to the feeling of being accepted and honored by an entire civilization. It was a reward that no weapon or medal could match. The council members stepped forward, offering gestures of respect and gratitude. Alex nodded to them, feeling the weight of their trust. Leora stood beside him, her hand in his, sharing in the moment. Then the queen approached him once more. "There is one final honor," she said. "Captain Kane, I offer you a choice. You may return to your people, carrying the knowledge and friendship of Viralia, or you may remain here, as an advisor and protector of my family and my empire." Alex paused, considering. He had a life among humans, comrades he respected, and responsibilities of his own. Yet the bond he had formed with Leora, the admiration and trust of the queen, and the chance to make a difference in a galaxy far from home pulled at his heart. He began, then looked at Leora. Her small eyes met his, filled with hope and trust. "I will stay," he said finally. "To protect her, to protect your people, and to continue building the trust between our worlds." The queen smiled warmly. "Then it is decided. You are not only honored, Captain Kane, but you are now part of Viralia's legacy. Your bravery will be remembered for generations." Leora clapped her hands with delight. "Yes, you're staying." "That's wonderful." Alex chuckled softly, feeling a rare moment of contentment. He had fought battles, survived dangers, and now he had a home among the stars, protecting a little girl whose trust had changed him in ways he could never have imagined. The queen gestured to a large window overlooking the city. "Look," she said. "Your deeds have inspired our people. Today they celebrate not only the festival but also the courage of a human who stood beside us when we needed him most." Alex looked out, seeing citizens waving and cheering, their faces filled with gratitude. He felt a warmth in his chest, a pride not just in what he had done but in the connection he had forged. Leora tugged at his hand. "Alex, can we go see the city? I want to show you my favorite places." Alex smiled, feeling a rare lightness in his step. "Of course. Lead the way, princess." They moved through the palace corridors, Leora chatting excitedly about the towers, the glowing streams, and the floating lanterns. Alex listened, fascinated by the world she called home. He realized that his mission had changed. It was no longer just about protection. It was about understanding, friendship, and building a future. As they stepped onto a balcony overlooking the city, the twin suns shone brightly. Alex felt the warmth on his face and realized that for the first time in a long while, he was not just a soldier, he was a part of something larger. A family, a civilization, a bond that transcended worlds. The queen joined them, standing silently beside Alex and Leora. She looked at her daughter, then at the human who had protected her. "You have done more than anyone could have hoped," she said softly. "And you have earned not just a reward but a place in our hearts." Alex bowed his head slightly. "Your Highness, it is an honor I will carry always." Leora leaned against him, her small hand still in his. "And we will always be together," she said, her voice filled with certainty. Alex smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. The journey had been dangerous, the challenges immense, but in the end, courage, trust, and human ingenuity had prevailed. He had protected the princess, defeated the attackers, and earned the admiration and friendship of an entire civilization. The Queen stepped back, allowing them a moment to enjoy the city and the festival below. Citizens moved like glowing threads of light through the streets, celebrating, laughing, and honoring the bond that had been formed between human and Virelian. Alex looked at Leora, her eyes wide with excitement and wonder. He knew the future held more challenges, more dangers, and more adventures, but for now he allowed himself to feel proud, safe, and at home. "You did it, Alex," Leora whispered. "You really did it." "No," he said gently. "We did it together." The Queen's voice echoed softly behind them. "Remember this day, Captain Kane. It is not only the day of your reward, but the day that humanity and Virelia became allies in a bond that will last for generations." Alex turned to her, bowing respectfully. "I will remember, Your Highness. Always." The twin suns dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the city. The light reflected off the floating towers and the glowing streams, painting the world in colors that seemed almost magical. Alex felt a deep sense of hope and purpose. He had come to this distant world as a soldier, and now he was a protector, a friend, and a symbol of humanity's courage and ingenuity. Princess Leora tugged at his hand, pointing to the horizon. "Come on, Alex, I want to show you one more thing before the sun sets." Alex smiled, following her lead. Together, human and princess, they walked into the city, ready to face whatever new adventures awaited them. And as they did, Alex realized that the greatest reward was not the crystal, the recognition, or the honor. It was the trust, friendship, and bond that had grown between them. A bond that would last a lifetime. The sun set over Virelia, painting the city in brilliant hues, and the people cheered, not just for the festival, but for the human soldier who had stood beside their princess and earned a place in their hearts forever. And in that moment, Alex Kane understood that bravery, loyalty, and the human spirit could change worlds, one life, one bond, and one courageous act at a time.